Hello everyone and welcome to the first Starbase feature introduction video. This video's topic of discussion is everyone's favorite: destruction. We believe that you deserve to not only be able to see the things you've created in detail, but also the destruction you've caused. Starbase uses a hybrid of vertex and voxel technology, which allows you to see damage in a more realistic level of detail. This means that you can damage objects exactly the way you want to, whether it be, for instance, shooting it full of holes, precisely cutting it, or shooting through layers of plating. As can be seen here, the level of detail also allows the angle you're shooting from to be seen in the damage done. There's also another type of damage called fracture damage. This can be seen here, where the damaged object gets broken up into many pieces. The type of damage caused depends on various factors, such as the weapon used or the material of the damaged object. Our voxel objects can be both fractured and cut at the same time. Now on to the destruction of bigger things, such as giant spaceships. Take this Empire gunship, for instance. It consists of thousands of small pieces, and each of them can be destroyed individually. This means that the bigger and the more detailed a ship is, the more detailed you can be in its destruction. The ship can literally be blown to bits and pieces, where each individual piece can be salvaged and, for example, taken for your own ship. As you may know, a huge part of Starbase is being able to be as creative as you wish. However, the creativity isn't only limited to creating things. So here are a few different ideas for destroying a ship that are possible for you to enjoy. You can cut off pieces of it, cut off a piece and take it to use on your own ship, make your own doors and windows, cut it in half, leave some graffiti, chop it into pieces, or just fill it with holes with the help of your friends, until this has turned to this. What's more, there are plenty of different weapons that can be used to inflict different types of damage, as well as different types of materials that react to damage in different ways. For instance, some materials are harder to damage or fracture, and some weapons are able to pierce multiple layers easier than others. You can try these out and see for yourself. And finally, if you've been inspired by this video and gone a little too far with your destruction, no need to worry. You can use the building tool to repair the damage you've done and forget it ever even happened. Or at least until the next time it gets destroyed. Spaceships. Starbase allows you to have endless possibilities when it comes to spaceships, since you can either buy a ready-made one, or design and build your very own ship with exactly the features that you need. But before you get started with building your own ship, it's good to know what they're made out of. So here are a few things that are crucial to have in any functional spaceship. One of the most essential parts of a ship, whether it flies or not, is the hull, which keeps the ship together. The basis of the hull is a frame made of beams, which looks something like this, but changes depending on the shape of the ship. The frame has the outer plating connected to it, which protects the ship from damage, as well as the inner plating, which helps the ship withstand weapon damage and makes the interior look nicer. Also, it might be a good idea to add some doors and windows to your hull for an added sight bonus and ease of access. Starbase features a complex durability calculation, which requires the ship's hull to be correctly built from correct materials and to be reasonably intact in order for it to survive spaceflight. So, make sure to build a strong hull, as it's the only thing that stands between you and the dangers of space, such as debris, radiation from warp travel, enemy attacks, and bad piloting skills. Another essential for any ship is the generator, the heart of the ship. It's used to power mostly everything in the ship, so it's better to place it somewhere out of harm's way. Generally, the generator consists of a generator unit, a cooling board with cooling cells, a fuel chamber with a fuel rod, and a socket board. This particular generator also has a few enhancers attached to it, which are optional but can be used to increase the generator's efficiency. Furthermore, depending on the amount of power needed, the generator can consist of multiple of each of the items listed, which means its size and composition can vary. Now, to be able to actually fly the ship as well, there are a few more things that are needed, and one of these are the thrusters. The thrusters are what enable the ship to move in space, and their number, types, and positions define which directions the ship can be flown and with what speeds. Thrusters require power and propellant to function, so make sure they're connected to a power source and a gas container. Next, you will need a command center, which is what holds all the controls for the ship's movements, and may look something like this but can be customized for your ship's needs. Then, a flight control unit, which receives the input from the controllers and forwards the info to the main flight computer, which in turn combines information of several FCUs and sends the data to the thrusters. Now, if proper cabling, electricity, fuel intake and cooling are also taken care of, your ship will be ready for takeoff. So, these things I've mentioned are only the essentials, but there are of course many other optional things that you can add to your spacecraft. These include furnishings such as lamps to bring light into your ship and chairs for a more comfortable flight experience, a transmitter and receiver system, tractor beams to move objects, a mining laser, and of course different kinds of mounted weapons for space warfare, among many other things. What's more, you can use Starbase's in-game programming language to customize your ship even further, as it can be used, for example, to make your ship fly and land on autopilot, as can be seen here. As for the actual building of the ship, there are a few options available. One option is to build your ship from scratch, which allows you to have complete freedom over what you wish your ship to be. You can also design a blueprint for your ship and have it made based on that, or modify an existing ship or shipwreck to your liking. And of course, there's always an option to just buy a finished ship. In any case, whether you decide to build your own ship or buy one, you will be able to get your very own ship which will fit your specific needs, whether they be a small and fast ship for exploration or scouting enemy territory, a ship with plenty of space for transporting cargo, a ship with plenty of seats for transporting other players, a giant ship with mounted weapons fit for warfare, or anything else you can think of, as in space, not even the sky is the limit.